everyone. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different in this video. So this day I actually had to go into the office. I had to actually see people. So I thought I'm gonna need to get ready properly. I might as well just show you what I actually do to get myself ready for work when I have to go into the office. So there's a little bit of makeup, a little bit of hair, and then a little bit following us around town as well. So I've just started out. I always start with my makeup first, but I've started out doing a little bit of concealer in any areas that I need it, so to cover any blemishes and also to cover any patches of my eczema that have flared up. So for that I used the Revolution concealer. It's the Conceal and Define one. I find that it's quite hydrating even though it's got a lot of pigment in there, so it does help to cover everything, but I don't think it kind of dries me out throughout the day, especially over my eczema prone areas. And then next I've just gone in with NC37 Studio Fix Fluid by MAC. Now, I used to use this foundation all of the time when I worked there. It was my absolute favourite, but I think once you've worked on a makeup counter and you're surrounded by a brand all of the time, you really want to look for something different after you've left. So I've tried loads of different foundations in the meantime, and I actually went back to this one because they had an offer on it in Boots, and I thought, do you know what? I might as well with the saving. So I've been using that when I've been tanned. Now my tan is coming off a little bit in here, so you'll see us sort of blending it down my neck as well. Once it's all blended in, I do actually match my arms and my body, but yeah, it's one of them where it looks a bit dodgy when you first put it on because it is quite dark for my skin, to be fair. Which is a little bit crazy. I must have gone paler, like obviously being in lockdown, not being outside, shielding, and then having the girls as well. I just obviously didn't tan as much, and like it's so dark for my skin now, but I used to wear it every day, so I was on top of my tan game, you know, when I was working at MAC, but not anymore. So I'm literally just stippling it onto my skin with a stippling brush. I do kind of pat it in and then I buff at the same time as well, just to get a really flawless finish. My skin is much better than it used to be after having the girls, so that is one thing that I've, you know, really enjoyed after having the twins. So yeah, that's been good for me. And then I'm just popping on a little bit of concealer. So I'm using the Studio Fix Fluid Concealer. It's the 24-hour one. Now I never actually used this before because it came out after I worked at MAC. But I actually really like it. It is quite thin, so for me I do leave it on my skin as I'm doing now. So I'm doing my brows in between, but I leave it on my skin for quite a while really, just so it sets in place a little bit, and then I blend out the edges with my beauty blender, so you'll see that in a minute. But for my brows I'm just using a little bit of brow powder, and I'm going through with an angled brush, and then I usually drag my spoolie through as well, just to kind of fluff my brows out a little bit. I have been enjoying them being quite natural, to be fair. Like I used to really do my eyebrows, like pencil them in, use a pomade and everything, but to be honest I just don't have the time these days, and I've got quite full eyebrows anyway, so I don't really need to do much to them. It's just to get that colour back into my brow, you know, with it going over with foundation and things like that. So do still like to pencil them on a little bit, but not as much as I used to. Low maintenance now. I don't have the time or the energy. But yes, I'm just filling in my brows there. That concealer setting on my skin. So I have also highlighted my nose, so the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, and the top of my lip as well, just to bring balance to the face once I've done my bronzer. So at this point you can see what I mean with that concealer setting on my skin, so it has really stuck to the inside of my eye and that outside corner, and I'm just literally bouncing my beauty blender over that area and blending it out so it's nice and smooth. But for me, doing that kind of technique means that the concealer stays in that area where I want it, and it's just really the edges that blend out, and then any excess I take over my sort of eyelid area and take it up to the brow, so it doesn't look really carved out. It's more of a natural look on it, to be fair. But I'm really enjoying that at the minute. And then I'm just doing the same on my nose, just bouncing out where I've left that concealer, giving my nose a little bit of a highlight, and the same with the upper part of my lip as well. So once I've finished blending all of that in, I'm taking a MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Powder in Light Plus on a small angled brush. And the reason I like to use a small angled brush is because I like to pack on the product under my eyes, because I do not like my concealer coming off at all. If there's one thing that I don't want to move all day, like, it's my concealer. I do lean on my hand quite a bit when I'm working, so I'm not too bothered about my foundation as such, but the dark circles don't need to be seen. So yes, I take quite a small brush so I can concentrate it in the areas that I need it, and then I basically just bounce that brush around my skin with any of the excess powder on, just to set the rest of my face. But actually, by doing that as well and using the Light Plus colour, it does kind of bring my skin back to more of a normal shade, not so orange. And then what I'm doing now is I'm taking a small round brush with some bronzer. This one's the Morphe bronzer, it's the glamabronze, I think it's called. But I like a small brush with this because I can really concentrate it at the top of my cheekbones and swirl that brush around on my skin, so it's catching the top of my cheekbones, but it's giving me that nice lifted look to my face. I have got quite a round face, so I like to bring that angle up, so that's why I apply my bronzer quite high, and I apply it up towards the temples as well. And once I'm done with the bronzer, I use exactly the same brush just to get a nice blend between the bronzer and the blusher, and I'll do exactly the same thing with the blush as well. So the blusher that I'm applying is Springsheen by MAC, and I've literally had this blusher since I was about 14. It was one of my very first MAC products. It's lovely, it's pink with like a peachy undertone with gold shimmer in it. So it gives that lovely highlighted look to the skin, but it's dead natural as well. It's one of my favourite blushes for summertime and springtime, just to bring that colour back into the face. And I like to pop a little bit on my nose as well. And then the highlighter that I'm applying is one by Fenty. It's called Hustla Baby, which is again one of my favourite highlighters. It's got that golden undertone, but it's not too like yellowy on the skin, so when you're looking at me straight on, you can't see it, which is an absolute must for highlighter. It should only be seen when it's bouncing off the light. So that one's my favourite one at the minute. And I've just applied that under the brows as well, on the top of the lip and a little bit down the bridge of the nose. So then moving on to eyes, I'm using this Morphe palette that I got for Christmas, and honestly it's got the perfect shades in for doing a really, really neutral eye. It has got some pink tones in there as well. It's really, really nice. But I'm just using the medium brown shade in the palette on a big fluffy brush, and I'm just taking that through the socket. So you'll see us blending that in circular motion through the socket in towards the inner corner of my eye, and then the excess on the brush, I'm using that to wing out into the temple area, so it kind of joins up with my bronzer. So again, it kind of like contours and sculpts the eye into the cheekbone and gives that lifted look to the face. So I just do this on both eyes, and it's just the one colour that I use. And I'll just go back in as many times as I need to build that colour up. So then what I'm doing here is I'm just applying on my ring finger a little bit of the gold shimmer shade and patting that onto my lid. So this gives a really nice diffused look. And then just to blend the edges, I'm using that same big fluffy brush that I used before with the brown eyeshadow, and just going straight back over the crease just to blend it out and make it all cohesive together. And then I'm taking the same highlighter that I used on my cheekbones just in the inner corner, just to bring it all together so it brings balance to the entire look. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just applying on an angled brush some brown eyeshadow to the top of my eyeline. So I'm using this instead of eyeliner, because at the minute I just find that I don't have the time to be faffing on with like gel liners and stuff like that. Like, it's just not happening. But I'm actually really preferring the eyeshadow look at the minute, because it's a much softer look on my eye. And to be fair, it's much more forgiving as well. So I find it a lot easier when I'm in a rush or in a hurry just to quickly pop this on. So to finish off the eye area for now, I'm just applying a little bit of mascara. Now this one is in a brown black shade, so it does give a more natural look for when I don't have eye makeup on. But what I do find is when I'm using that brown eyeshadow as an eyeliner, it does help to tie that in a little bit more as well and give that nice soft look to the eye. Because it's got that brown shade in it as well, I think it does help to kind of warm the eye area up, so I feel like it helps like the blue of my eyes stand out. So if I don't have lashes on, I feel like it's a really nice colour for me. And I'm just applying a little bit of lip liner here. So this is the MUA, and I think you can get that in Superdrug. I'm sure the lip liners were only like £1, and this is in the shade TLC, which is like my all-time favourite. Sometimes I'll just wear this by itself as well. The lipstick that I'm using is the Plouise paint. So this is actually a lip base paint that she released. I can't remember the name of the colour actually, but it is my all-time favourite go-to lip product. Genuinely, it's matte, but it does not feel matte on my lips, which I hate. I don't like anything that feels crusty. So that's been my favourite at the minute. And then I'm just going in with a little bit of setting spray as well, just to finish off the skin for now. So moving on to hair, I've just taken my tangle teaser and I'm giving my hair a really good brush through. So I actually slept on my hair wet the night before, which I don't recommend, especially if you've got bleached hair, because mine just went like an absolute frizz bomb. But again, you know, I don't have time to be drying my hair in the middle of the night when I take my bath. So I slept on it wet, so it was a bit crazy. So I don't usually straighten my hair because my hair's really straight anyway, but I absolutely had to. I could not go into work looking like that. So I've just taken my brush, brushed it through, and then I'm going to use a little bit of heat protectant just before I use my straighteners as well. So I don't straighten my hair in any kind of particular way, apart from I will brush the tangle teaser through my hair and follow through with the straightener. My hair is actually really fine, even though I've got quite a bit of it, so I don't really find that I need to section it. I can kind of get, you know, quite a lot of hair in there. So yeah, so there's not really any kind of sectioning or anything going on. I'm literally just brushing my hair through and following through with the straightener until it's as straight as I want it. So once I've finished arranging the side pieces and where I actually want my hair to sit, I'll pop a little bit of oil through my hair. This is just to keep it moisturised throughout the day, because my hair is bleach damaged. It does tend to go quite frizzy, especially, like I say, I've slept on it wet. So this is just to keep it nice and moisturised throughout the day. And then that is the finished look. So nice, sleek, straight hair, hair behind my ears that's out of the way, glowy skin, natural-ish eyes with my lashes on. So that is me all ready for work. So my gran and John are in the house with the girls now, so I think they're going to plan on nipping out a little bit later, get them some fresh air, which is nice. And I'll probably get a little photo update, which is nice. It keeps me going at the office. But yeah, I'll check in on my break. I think I have to nip into town to do a few bits and bobs, so we'll see what I get up to. So this was my little update for the day. How cute are they in their little coats on their walk? Bless them, it looked like they had a really good nap as well, which was lush. So I just did a quick little stop off because I've got time. Little McDonald's. So my break on this shift is in the middle of the day, so it's too late for dinner and it's too early for tea. So I tend to just have a little snack or something, and I'll go and take myself out for a little walk, which for the bank balance doesn't always help because I end up always buying something that I don't really need. But I decided to go for a little walk down the Northumberland Street in Newcastle, and I ended up going into Primark, and then I saw these really cute apricot shorts, or peach shorts I guess, for the girls, and I really wanted to buy them, but they only had like one of the size that I need, and that's usually the case these days. There's only ever one size, and then I find that like even if you ask people, or like if you got any more in the back, they never have the same size that I want, so I'll just have to keep going back and seeing if they've got any. So I look horrendous because I've just finished work. I'm a bit shiny and I've got no lipstick left on, and I've been leaning on my hand all day, but it's fine. I just thought I would quickly pop on and show you what I picked up in Primark before I leave for home. So I actually got the girls this little outfit. I did get them one each because, you know, everything has to be matching, but this is from Primark. It's really thin, so it'll be a nice sort of like springtime set or summer set for when, you know, there's lots of sunshine outside, protect their arms and whatever, but you know, it's going to keep them nice and cool as well. So I got those in 12 to 18 months, which should fit them about now, and they're just going into 12 to 18 months, so that should be fine. And they were only £6 as well, so nice little bargain. So I got them a little set of that each, and some socks as well, which is super cute. So I got them this little pack, so it's got little rainbows. I've got some leopard print, which is my favourite, little spots, hearts, and then ones that say be kind, which is really cute. So that's what I purchased, and a new phone holder as well, so I can actually do filming hands-free because I broke my last phone holder. But that's all cool. So I'm gonna head home now, and that is the end of my work day. So thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end, I didn't actually manage to film an end piece just because when I got home I was so tired. I literally just had my tea and went to sleep. So yeah, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed it.